So before I get the opportunity to explain this, I got to give you proper context. And that means we got to go back.
What's up, happy people? It's John Lee for 1983, and I'm back with another honest reaction video. And this one is special, St. Paddy's Day special. And let me go ahead and give you context. Our story started in Atlanta and ended in Montgomery. More specifically, the Renaissance Waverly. And that's where we met the front desk associate named Osha, who had some real cool energy. We first talked to her on our way to the spa, and later after checkout, I caught back up with her because, I wanted some food recommendations. And that's when Osha started telling me about how big St. Paddy's Day is in Georgia, specifically Savannah.
Are you ready? Get ready. Are you ready? Set, go.
And after looking at a couple videos, I knew she was the person to get a food recommendation from. Only problem was we had to be back in Alabama. We had some doctor's appointments to attend to. So my appetite started in Georgia, but I took those cravings across the state line to Alabama. And what I thought was going to be simple became a lot more than simple. You feel me? I mean, who would have thought between ChatGPT, looking at Facebook, me and my wife were coming up on the short end of the stick until I remembered I am part of a group called Lunch in the Gump. And one of the participants, like myself, had asked, hey, where can I get some corned beef and potatoes for? And I started calling around, and the only definitive place I seen that was open till 8 o'clock that day was Jan's Beach House Grill on Eastern Boulevard. And after my phone calls went unanswered, we turned on the party groups and headed to Jan's. So I kid you not, I've been in Montgomery for like 5 years now, and this is the first time I've been to this establishment. And out of all of my places, this is the first time where I feel like a minority. What appeared to be an out of place moment, seating included, ended up being a fantastic experience that elevated my culture past my comfort zone. Besides the green beer, that is an annual tradition. And let me tell you what, we ended up having 2 corned beef and cabbage plates. I had a pitcher of Bud Light, Green Edition, an Irish Eye, and a green tea shot. In total, our meal came to $54.49. And let me be real, I was grateful because it looked like I might not have been able to get what I had desired, which was some corned beef on St. Paddy's Day. But let me be all the way transparent. It was tough, not tender like I expected. The carrots looked like shredded salad carrots had been dropped in there at the end instead of actually cooking down with the dish. They didn't feel blended. They didn't feel soft. And it just made the whole thing come across like something different than what I was thinking or what I've had in the past. Now, was it horrible? No. But did it line up with what I was expecting for St. Patrick's Day? Not really. And the wildest part of the whole experience was our server, Nancy. First off, shout out to Nancy, because she really made our 2026 St. Paddy's Day a wonderful experience. Nancy was kind, attentive, and just had a great spirit the whole time we were there. On top of that, she offered my wife some of her corned beef. I'm not even going to lie. Nancy's version looked more St. Paddy's Day than the one on the menu. Hers had that richer, more authentic look to it. And hearing how she made it with broth and Guinness beer, it honestly sounded more in line with what I thought I was about to get. So for me, the backstory was strong. The effort was real. The drinks helped set the vibe. And Nancy absolutely deserves love for how she treated us. Would I come back for the corned beef and cabbage itself? Probably not. Not because it was the worst thing ever, but because it just didn't fit what I was looking for when I want a true St. Paddy's Day plate. But once again, shout out to Nancy for making the experience better than the food, and for helping make our 2026 St. Patty's Day once remembered. That's my honest reaction. Straight up.